Help me, like, if people they have to give a speech, could be they got to go, they're the best man at a wedding.
Yep.
They are going to go do a real estate talk. What do I do? Blank page.
Yeah, blank page. And for those listening, he literally has a blank page.
I literally have a blank page.
Right,
we're going to craft my speech right here.
All right. So one of the first things you got to do is kind of begin with the end in mind of like, what's the main idea? What's the point that we're like, why are you giving this speech? What's kind of the context of it? What is it that you want people to take away from? So for example, when I'm working on this morning, I got to give a talk next week, and I'm thinking like, okay, where is this in relation to the overall retreat and kind of the setting? What's the main things that I want people to take away from? And this could be, maybe it's something actionable. I want them to invest in this fund by the end of this, or maybe I want them to feel something inspirational. It's the beginning of a new year, and I want them to feel encouraged as they start a new year. Whatever the thing is,
Sure.
What's that main thing that I want them to experience as a result of that? So beginning with that, and from there, then we can kind of like just brain dump and just kind of brainstorm. Like, okay, in order to get there, think of it like a road trip. I know what the destination is. Let's think of all the different possible things associated with that. And it's not like, well, I don't know where this would fit. No, like unfiltered. Just a brain dump of ideas, of stories, of the bathroom licking mirror thing. That may work, that may not. No filter. Just I'm writing down ideas that I think could work. Now, another thing that we touched on earlier is I think that most of the time, especially with speakers, is we're not working on a fresh talk all the time. Like it's always like, I'm staring at this blank screen. It is, I've given a presentation and now I'm figuring out like, how can I improve that, or how do I try some new material within that? So it's oftentimes rare that speakers should be like giving a brand new talk just completely from scratch. Now I understand like in this context, but two questions to ask to make this real practical is so what and now what? So what and now what? Yeah, the audience is always asking themselves, so what? So you just told the story, or you just gave the speech, or you just gave this presentation. So what? That's cool for you. What does that have to do with me? So what? And then now what? Like, what am I supposed to do as a result of this? Am I supposed to invest in something, or take some type of action, or think something differently, or feel something differently? Like, what am I supposed to do because of what we just talked about? So thinking through that so what and now what, and again, kind of thinking through what that destination is, brainstorming and just brain dumping some ideas, some stories, some points. Like, hey, here's a key idea. I don't know where it's going to go, but this is something I want to communicate. And then from there, you can start to kind of flesh it out and kind of figure out like, okay, I can start to get an idea of like these 1, 2, 3 things are probably the main ideas that I want to say. This story would actually work really well with this second point. And it starts to kind of form a skeleton there that then you can put some meat on the bones of what it could look like. But if you don't know, like, why am I giving the speech, and what's the point of it, and who's actually in the audience, and how is it relevant to them, and why should they care, then it doesn't matter, because otherwise you're coming up with random stuff that's not going to make any impact.